Hello everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to be doing some test cutting with the new monikala knives dolphin model. This is a brand new, small, compact little tie folder here, full frame lock, 14C28 blade. Monikala Knives is a micro brand. This is now their third model. They only sell on Amazon. They do not have their own official website or storefront or anything like that, just a storefront on Amazon. I'll leave links down below so you can check out all that kind of stuff. But what I'm going to be doing in this video is doing some ergonomic testing. I'm going to show you how this thing looks like with some leather gloves. And yeah, let's get to it. Alrighty, so just gonna throw these bad boys on right here. Not that I really need them, but again, I'm honestly kind of tired of getting cardboard cuts. So, and plus I want to show you guys what this little guy looks like with some gloves on. But that's what it looks like in the standard grip. You cannot choke up on this because the flipper tab is in the way. I think that that's just, you know, a design flaw in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it's just a little awkward. So it's a little guy. This is definitely a little guy. You get just exactly 3 inches of available cutting edge. I want to show you really quick before I start tearing up this fresh edge. So I laid the edge back to 18 degrees, and as you can see, as we get closer and closer to the heel, it is very, very wide at the heel. That means that this thing was poorly and inconsistently ground from the factory. I'm just saying how it is. Both sides are sharpened, you know, on my wicked edge sharpening system. There is little to no error that can occur on the wicked edge sharpening system because of how the system is, you know, how it operates. So it's at that point, it really is up to the knife to be consistent. I don't have the highest hopes for this because it is kind of like thick behind the edge. So let's just see how this thing feels.
I mentioned in my full-length unboxing video that something like this would definitely benefit from a shallow hollow grind. Monikala Knives has proven that they are capable of making hollow grinds, even if they aren't that consistent. But a hollow grind is a hollow grind, and it would absolutely help with, you know, getting through material. So, just breaking this thing.
I want to see how this thing feels like really pushing it in with just barehanded. A more stable cutting surface. These ones right here, they're like doubled up with some adhesive. So cool. I'm thankful for the jimping. The jimping's actually very well executed. It's not perfect. There's still room for improvement, of course, but it's getting better. You know what? That's not bad. This is honestly something that I could use, maybe not for a super extensive amount of time, but long enough. See how that feels. It's comfortable. Didn't go all the way through because again, it is really thick. Just kind of showing you what this thing is going through. Didn't go through all the way. And like this is a fresh edge. This is a 400 grit high stropped edge. Before I did testing, this is enough to cleanly cut through paper towel. So it's not so much the edge that is on there, the quality of the edge. It's the quality of the grind and how thick it is behind the edge. For 50 bucks, I mean, this thing's got a lot of good going for it. It definitely does, but it's not as slicey as I would like it to be. It's not as slicey as I would prefer it to be. So there are definitely some major cost-cutting measures that have been implemented on this model to be able to offer it for as cheap as it is. If this thing had all the little fine details and bells and whistles that I would prefer, this would get closer and closer to a $100 knife. It's a little guy. I'd love to see this thing with, you know, a hollow grind, get rid of the stupid flipper tab, put some studs on this or a hole or something. I think a hole would have been cool, like a little avocado shaped hole. Let's do some large slashes here. Yeah, it's not that great. I mean, it's still thick stuff, but it's pretty standard size, you know, cardboard. It's nothing super heavy duty.
The grip position, it's fine. There's nothing, wrong with it.
I'm really like squeezing the shit out of this thing when I do the pass to like try to feel any sort of hot spot. I'm trying to point out that clip if I can. Maybe it is kind of rubbing on my right there a little bit. I mean, this thing is just too robust for its own good, for how small it is, and the one only real like grip position. Like obviously like grip like this, but you can obviously like utility hold like that, and you know, indexing this thing is actually pretty nice. So let's go back to the table. All right, so obviously there was a very short little testing sesh there just for ergonomic purposes and seeing how, you know, how the blade grind actually feels as everything is combined here. So I like how this thing sits in hand, how it feels in hand. It would be just fine for typical little light duty EDC tasks. This isn't something that's meant to do long-term use. You need something that's a little bit more hand-feeling, something with a little bit thinner edge geometry. But as I mentioned, if you want something that is compact, sub 3-inch blade, you know, frame lock titanium flipper, good little pocket clip, 14C28N, which is super responsive to like a little leather strap, or if you have, you know, some really thick like denim jeans or something, you could even hit this on your jeans, do a couple passes, and you'll probably bring some life back to this 14C. So I think that that's a plus for, you know, what is a little sprinkling of premium goodness for, you know, a budget knife, something to be kicked around and, you know, used. This isn't pocket jewelry. This isn't anything fancy. It's a little $50 little no nonsense kind of little cutter right here. Something special, nothing really significant about it. But what I think is impressive about it is that even still now, there are very few companies, big companies, that could offer anything that can directly compete with this for the materials. Again, titanium 14C28 for 50 bucks. If there's anything off the top of your head that is just like that, you know, let me know. Later on, you guys will see a full length review on this thing. But that is it for now on the Monikala Knives Dolphin. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you are subscribed already, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your patience, of course. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because I play more videos and content coming your guys' way. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.